You're all right. We're starting the podcast, episode 8, I believe.
What's up, y'all? It's Johnny Creal and McHenry Cruiser, and we doing it big in the Starbucks parking lot.
Again,
on their Wi-Fi, because that's how we do it.
We're hijacking the Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
This is, look, we don't have any money. We got no production value. We don't have a studio. We have nothing.
No, we're in his car, and
but
we're in
brains.
The Starbucks parking lot, and it's all good because we have something that even those people who do the high grade, the high production podcasts don't. We have interesting topics, and we're funny as hell.
I like how we kiss our own ass. In the
That's what you got to do. You have to, until people start kissing your ass, you have to kiss your own ass.
We're just going to spend an hour on how great we are, and you bear with it. And then next time we'll have content.
This is very self-indulgent. McHenry, you are great.
Yeah,
you are fantastic.
All right. I want to talk about this probable fight I'm going to get into.
Oh, right.
On Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. Now, I'm going to just get into the story, and you let me know if you want to intervene here. But I was on Facebook. I was intoxicated again, because that's what I do. I get drunk, and then I troll Facebook.
Right.
So this girl who is a regular at the open mic, she's like 28 years old. Anyway, she posts a picture of her and her female friend. Now, I have no idea the age of the friend or anything of that nature, but what I write is, I'd like to bang her. Talking about the friend.
Okay.
I'd like to bang her friend, who turns out is 16, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Number one, big breasts, like fully grown
so
adult woman.
You didn't know she was 16?
No, I didn't know. Because the person who I do know is 28, so like...
Right, you figured she was about 25, 28.
I figured roughly
by
the
association.
Same age. Yeah,
right.
I figured roughly the same age.
It was an innocent mistake.
So, I post the comment, I want to bang her. And then she replies, I think you're a pedophile.
Oh, wow.
And then I got mad, and I start IMing her. No, I wrote, I think you're a fat bitch. I got mad at the pedophile. Yeah. I thought that was like a little personal.
This was all under the under alcohol's influence.
I'm not an asshole if I'm sober, but when the booze is in me, I turn into an asshole. That's just
a lot of people
what happens.
Do. Yeah.
So I was mad, felt like it was a personal attack. I call her a fat bitch. And then we get into an IM discussion, and I think she blocked me at that point. And then I might have said something about her boyfriend to really just, really get under her skin, because that's just what I did. And anyway, so this guy who is a friend of the boyfriend intervenes on her behalf and the boyfriend's behalf, and it was like, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to find you. Come out to the open mic tonight, the musical open mic, because there's one in Stockton, California, that he was going to go to.
Right.
At this place called Whirlow's, a musical open mic. So he's like, come on out so I can kick your ass. And I'm like, so you're going to write me to say you're going to kick my ass, but I have to come to you? Like, I don't, like, how does that even work?
Right.
Like you
want to kick his ass.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. He wants to kick your ass. So shouldn't he come find you?
He should come to me, right? And that's what I told him.
He's challenging you.
I said, listen,
he wants to fight you more than you want to fight him.
Well, I said if he came to Modesto, I'd be happy to slap the taste out of his mouth.
Okay,
that's
cool.
What I said.
You said the right thing. Yeah.
I did say the right thing, and so we just got back and forth with it, and then I downloaded his picture from his Facebook profile, and I posted it to my wall saying, hey, everybody, this fat guy is going to open up a can of whoop ass on me on Tuesday.
I saw that, and I commented, LOL, we'll see about that.
Yeah, so it was basically I was using this whole incident to promote the open mic, since you try to get more people to go out there anyway. So, maybe this guy's going to come out there and kick my ass, and I did say, hey, he said he was going to kick my ass. And because, listen, this wasn't the original guy I got into it with. He was just sticking up for, I guess, his friend. So I'm like, I'm going to get my friend, the big black guy Johnny, to handle my business, son.
Right. No, I got you back. I told you that.
So he said he's going to kick both of our asses.
So he said apparently, not to me, but to McHenry, he's going to kick my ass.
Both of our asses.
Both of our asses.
At the same time.
So, but let's focus on me for a second. He's going to, I want to see, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
Honestly, if he shows up and gets in our face, I'm going to ask you to step out of it. Just stay out of it, and I'm going to fight him myself. I haven't punched anybody in 8 years.
Wow.
And I felt pretty good about that. I exercise a lot of self-control nowadays. But I mean, if this guy gets in my face and threatens me, all bets are off. And it sounds like to me he's going to get in one of our faces, and I'm going to make sure it's my face, not yours, because you don't want to fight him.
No.
Frankly, I don't mind fighting him.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. It's going to happen in 2 days.
2 days. So tune in next week to get the resolution of the story, maybe. I'll be
Johnny might be. Oh my God, we have to talk about this, dude.
All right.
Well, first of all, let me close this bit with Johnny might be phoning it in from county jail.
He might,
I might be. You never know.
They record all the calls coming out of there, so maybe I could just request the tape and the phone call, and there it is.
Exactly.
We don't have to go to Starbucks.
But like we did. This is podcast number 8. Yeah. Honest to God, I hate podcasts 1 through 4. I really do. It sounds like I'm calling collect from county jail, because you used to call me and you had a good microphone and I was on my cell phone, which got terrible reception, and so like there were points where I would like be like audible and then just go out, and it was just terrible. It sounds like I called you from World War II.
Wow.
like hey, we gotta do the podcast, let me call Johnny. You dialed 1940 Germany, and I'm an American overseas, and you know, first of all, like it's World War II. I'm black, so I can't exactly fight in the battle because they didn't let us fight back then. So I would have been in the kitchen washing dishes. So you know, they'd be like, "Hey, Johnny, got a phone call," and I'd be like, you know, hello, hey, and we would do the podcast, and then the white sergeant would have been like, "Nigger, get off the phone." And I'd be like, "Boss, I'm doing a podcast," because that's how you had to talk to policemen back then.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "All right, just hurry it on up." But I hate it. I hate the audio on that. So please forgive us and understand that, you know, podcasts 1 through 4, it was my cell phone, and I get terrible reception.
We should have just said, hey, listen, Johnny is doing the podcast from prison. He shivved a guy with a knife in the guts. This is where he does it from. It would have gave us more credibility.
You're right.
I think 50 Cent would have reached out to us, like, let me help.
He would have became a sponsor.
Put some money into this. Yeah. He would have totally.
That's cool, man.
Like maybe you shot a drug dealer 9 times, and we allude to maybe it was 50 Cent. You don't know. You were high at the time. It could have been 50 Cent you shot. Maybe that's the guy who shot him, you know, because he was shot 9 times by somebody.
He was.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, no, so we had to clear that up.
Right.
But yeah, no, so you have court.
I do. I have courts. If you listen, I believe it's number 3. I talked about the incident with the guard at the grocery store. And I'm going to briefly, I'm not going to go 40 minutes into the story. I'm just going to cliff note what happened and why I'm going to court tomorrow. So, I go in to get, I believe at the moment it was coffee. I was going to the store to get coffee. There was a robbery weeks prior to this at the store. So they now have a new security guard. I'm going to get coffee. I see the guard. He's giving me the stink eye. I'm looking at him back. He's not fucking taking the gaze off of me. He's like burning a hole in my head like he's Superman. So I'm just like, what the fuck you looking at? I was mad at the time, and I was on some sort of antidepressant, so it made me angry.
Right.
I was walking around mad. He's looking at me. What the fuck are you looking at? He goes up to me. He's like getting in my face. I'm getting in his face, and I leave.
Right.
Weeks pass, blah, blah, blah. I go back. I'm going to get milk and Splenda. As on my way to the cashier, there's the guard again. He's like, get out. I'm like, no. He's like, get out. I want to talk to the owner. I say, he grabs my hand. I pull it away. He grabs my other hand. I pull it away. He whips out his baton. He's going to hit me with it. I run out the store to get away. Some other guy intervenes, a good Samaritan, on his behalf, pushes me against a pillar outside, and they arrest me. And so the charges officially are battery, vandalism, because I dropped the milk when he whipped out his baton, so I guess they're saying...
So these are trumped-up charges.
Trumped-up charges.
And you're innocent, and basically you have to go defend yourself.
I got to go defend myself.
And you have a lawyer.
Yeah, I have a public defender, because I can't afford a real lawyer. Right. So he doesn't really care about me. But tomorrow... Now, I missed court last time because I was in San Francisco with a YouTube fan.
Right. Podcast number 3. Yeah, covers all that.
Podcast number 3. We lost a car, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I burned her vagina with a low-grade quality condom.
It was an accident. But
just listen to podcast 3, you'll hear the story. But yeah, I missed court, so now I'm going back to set the trial date, is what tomorrow's all about. And I got a warrant for my arrest, which is if the cops come up to us, like, what are you doing in here? Let me see your ID. Yeah. I'm going to jail tonight. And that's going to be recorded on the podcast.
And it doesn't help that you're sitting next to a big black dude.
No, because
this
definitely
looks very suspicious.
Looks like a drug deal going on.
Exactly.
So yeah, so tomorrow is about, hopefully I set the trial date. Within 30 days, the trial will be over, and I'm going to find out whether or not I'm a convicted felon. It's not a felony, it's misdemeanors, but I'll have a record or not. Hopefully it'll be a Casey Anthony. Maybe they're going to think, the jury's going to think, he's a little too handsome to have committed this situation. Let's let him off the hook. I hope that's the case. I don't have a record, so...
honestly, you're a white guy in America. I don't think that you're really going to ever be prosecuted for anything.
I hope not.
So just go in there and just kind of, really just think white.
Think white.
Think white and wear Ugg boots.
Ugg boots.
And just I'm sorry. Wear Croc shoes.
Right.
Like our friend Aaron wears all the time. And just, have sort of a Matthew McConaughey kind of just easy breezy kind of attitude about it. Your Honor, man, I just did what I did,
Right.
And you're not a blonde. Were you a blonde? Because you shave your head now.
I shave my head. No, it was like brown with like a slight reddish tint in the sunlight, but not. I wasn't a ginger by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. Like dark brown, really, is what it was.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
All right, well, I think you're good. You're not exactly Hitler's wet dream, but you're still a white man, and
right.
They don't like to convict white men, so I think you're good.
And listen, the guard's not black, so there's no racial fucking situation that could go down.
It's a white-on-white crime, which the judge is probably just going to go, you know what? Innocent.
Yeah. I hope
he's a good kid. He does comedy.
Now, I believe there's like a pre-trial situation where they bring forth the evidence and the judge allows what goes into trial, what doesn't. So I'm hoping he just says, you know what, fuck this, we're dropping the case. Because they do got the tape of everything. They got the tape of what happened and the security guard report, which, according to him, I threw shit off shelves. I was taking shit off shelves and throwing it at him, and like throwing my arms up in the air and
all fabrication.
All fabrication, and we got the tape that shows that none of that happened. So I'm hoping the judge reads the report, sees the video, goes, that fucking guard lied out of his ass. I'm going to drop the whole thing, and I hope that's what's going to happen.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So, tomorrow is the day, and I wish you well, sir.
I just hope I don't oversleep. That's my big concern, like oversleep, because I already got the warrant. They said if I miss again that it'll be a $75 fine, but I did get a letter in the mail from the sheriff's department saying you got to go into court and pay like so much percentage of the bail.
Oh, okay.
Or you're going to get arrested, something to that effect. So, and that would have been more money than I got in the bank, because we're talking $1,500, and I think I got less than that. I got less than $1,000.
Damn, man.
Yeah, so
that's insane. Now you're not religious.
No,
at all.
No.
I am, even though I curse and I talk about inappropriate things. Yeah. Believe it or not, I really do love God.
You love
I'm
God.
Just like I'm on the fringe of like my faith is strong. It's strong. Like I told people I would die for my faith. Because eventually they're going to start persecuting people for their belief. Because and this is all prophecy. But when that happens, if somebody approaches me and says, do you believe in God? Are you religious? And there's like they go, here's the line where we kill people, and here's the line where if you say you're not religious, we'll let you live.
Yeah.
I will get in line with the line of people that are going to be killed. That's how strong my faith is.
Wow.
I'm not exactly practicing right now, but religion keeps me it keeps me very balanced, and I'm not perfect by any means, but it is something that I do value. However,
right. I just want to know, what do you think, because I've known people that, I know one guy who used to be a friend of mine, he had a heart situation where he flatlined, and they had to bring him back to life, and technically he was dead for like 90 seconds, and I asked him, so did you see Jesus? He's like, he smirked a little bit, and he's like, no. I'm like, you didn't see like any past relatives, anything like that? He smirks again, he says, no. I'm like, so you didn't go to heaven, is that what you're telling me? He's like, no. I'm like, what happened? He's like, nothing happened. It was total blankness. I don't remember what happened. I'm like, did you hover out of your body and bear witness to the surgeons working on you, CPR, all that? Nothing. Nothing happened. And I talked to a few other people too. That one that I talked to on Facebook, who YouTube messaged me and whatnot. Anyway, same thing. Like everybody I've talked to, nothing happened. But then you read these stories about where the surgeon or the doctor rather is like, the person describes hovering over their body, who's seen the surgeon, blah blah blah, and they go and they say, here's what the doctor talked about, and the doctor confirms it. Yes, oh my God, that's what we said.
And call it an outer body experience.
And my thing is, what if the person goes, here, I hovered out of my body, here's what the doctor said, and the doctor, hearing this, goes, hey, you know what, fuck it, give this guy his little fantasy that he hovered. I didn't say any of that shit, but you know what, I'm going to say I did, so he feels better about himself. Now, do you think we have no proof all we got is the word of the doctor saying, yes, I said those things. He must have hovered out of his body. Don't you think he's just being a nice guy saying, yeah, I'm just going to say he said that?
It's first of all, this is just the scenario. But, we don't know if he is in fact just trying to be a nice doctor, or if he actually did do those things. Everybody has had a weird experience in their life. But to answer the question about your friend flatlining and then saying he saw nothing. First of all, I believe in heaven, but my faith, we preach. God, I really don't want to go here because I'm not baptized. I'm not a practicing witness anymore. Well, I still go to a few. I went to a memorial, which is showing appreciation for Jesus dying for our sins.
Right.
I make that every year, but I still read the Bible on occasion. But we're taught that even though there's a heaven, only 144,000 are actually going to go.
144,000.
The anointed ones, yes.
Right.
The rest of us are going to inherit the earth, and by inherit the earth, I mean the earth is going to become a paradise, and there will be no more pain nor outcry. Long suffering will be no more.
So God's just like, listen, 144 of you, 1,000 of you get to hang out with me, and then listen, the rest of you remember back when I flooded the earth and Noah built the boat and saved a few animals and shit.
So
I want to do that again. Is that
no, he's not gonna. Why would he?
So
I'm talking about
paradise. Listen, to create paradise, you got to get rid of what's currently here.
Well, that's Armageddon. And by the way, the rainbow is to. I believe because it's been so long, I believe the rainbow represents God never destroying the earth in that fashion again, never by a flood.
Right.
That's the significance of the rainbow.
So God's like, listen, I used to be an asshole. I had a little bit too much booze.
God destroyed people who were doing bad things.
He's like, I drank a little bit and I trolled Earth. But you know what? I'm over it. I went to AA, went through the 12 steps, and I'm not going to do that
God
again.
is infallible, and he destroyed people who were doing bad things. And they got warnings. Like, his prophet would warn them.
Right.
And look, and everybody saw Noah build. No, it didn't take Noah like a day and a half to build it. It took him like 7 years to build the ark.
7 years.
So for 7 years, people were just coming around making fun of old crazy Noah building an ark. And then once it was built and he put all the animals on, his family got on, and all of a sudden it starts raining. Everybody kind of went, this is weird.
Why didn't the animals fight? we got bears, we got rabbits.
Well,
why wouldn't
I'm assuming God took that part of the beast out of them.
He sedated them. He's like, listen,
he didn't sedate them. Like, he didn't inject them with something and say, all right, you're going to hang out. You're just going to chill here for a year.
That would have been a wise move.
He's powerful. So I'm assuming, because you're right, a bear cannot be next to a sheep. In our world, a lion can't be next to a gazelle.
Right.
They're enemies. They're arch enemies.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he did something to make sure that while on the ark, nothing bad happened.
He's just like, listen, bear, don't be an asshole and kill this rat. I'm saving you. I'm saving your life. Listen, when you're off the boat, eat him, like, claw his eyes out, whatever you want to do, but while you're on the boat...
I'm sure, to be funny, I'm sure God said, look, give the sheep a head start, bear.
Right.
Let him just... Don't go after him until he's about 75 feet away,
Don't you find that, though, to be an unbelievable story? It took 7 years to
honestly, if I was raised out of the religion...
Yeah.
Because for me, it's true. This is what I was taught.
Right.
But for you, somebody who doesn't really have a lot of faith, doesn't really read the Bible, it sounds like a movie. It could easily sound like a movie to you. But no. My point about your friend flatlining was, the reason he did not see heaven is because human beings who aren't anointed aren't going to heaven.
Not going to heaven.
Jesus, people who die are waiting on the resurrection.
Where do they wait? Is there like a lobby someplace?
They're just.
I mean, listen. If you
this is why I love you. No. Yeah. It's just Jesus described death as a deep sleep.
A deep sleep. Okay.
That's one reason I'm not afraid of dying. Because what is a deep sleep? I mean, I can use a deep sleep. Put me to sleep, man. I get to leave this world and wake up in a paradise. Are you kidding me? But anyways, so that could be the reason why your friend didn't see heaven. But that doesn't mean that there's not a God, and that there's not a prophecy, and that this world is not eventually going to end. It's called Armageddon, and it's not going to be a flood. We don't exactly know how it's going to end, but I do believe
Isn't it going to end because the sun is going to burn out?
That's the science. My God, scientists are the smartest dumb people ever. Like look, if I don't care how many degrees you have, if you don't believe in God, I will just turn my back on you. Seriously, I can't. Like, and there are people who go, "Oh, you believe in a guy who sits in space and just judges everybody with a bunch of angels?" I'm like, yeah. You know, and you believe in the Big Bang Theory,
right?
You know, just molecules. Developed when a comet came crashing by, and all of a sudden life was just shut up. I
think that what their point is this: it was one singular point, and there was a swelling, a gradual swelling.
Okay, all right. Well, and then evolution happened.
Yeah,
I have one. Like anybody who believes that this. Look at the tree outside. Look at the bushes. Look at all the animals in their property. Properties. Don't you find it kind of interesting that every animal, every human being has a job, has a duty.
Like, every human being?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. You mean a job is in some guy's a banker, some guy who works at Del Taco? We created that. We created jobs to make money to get goods and services. That's our thing, not God. Like, we didn't used to do that. We were hunters and gatherers.
God's not a capitalist. Like, God's not like sitting at the, he's not on the board of Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, look, we need to make a new beverage because we're losing, because our last quarter we lost money. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like it has to be creation. There's no way that evolution could do all this. Like, just look at nature. Look at like this was designed by a being. Yeah. And we call him God.
So who created God then? He just always was?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you're saying the Big Bang couldn't happen. That's ridiculous because it's just something that happened. Well,
here's the Big Bang Theory. It's like, it's just a belief. They try and say that, we just believe in something blind, and it's there's more to it than that. But that's what they say about us. But there have been scientists that have challenged their this theory of the Big Bang Theory.
Well, not some people, they just don't know, and they're willing to admit, hey, listen, I don't know how this came to be.
Agnostics or something?
Yeah, they just say, listen, I don't know how this came to be. I don't think it was God.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened. I'm not intelligent enough. It's beyond my comprehension. I can't tell you why this came to be, but I don't think it was Jesus.
It's all faith. It's all faith. Like, believe it or not, even though scientists and atheists have faith, they have faith that there is no God.
Right.
I love the fact that there's an atheist church. Like, what do they do on Sunday? Get together and just go, well, we don't believe in God. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Street going door to door, knocking on your door, and they're atheists, and they're going, and you knock, and you answer, and they go, hello. You go, hi, and they go, we're atheists. And then they just stand there and stare at you for 2 seconds and go, have a good day, because they don't have anything to say.
I think what they would say is they would convince you that there's no God.
There's no God. No, but how, hey, there's no God.
Right.
Okay, can I get back to watching my baseball game? Absolutely. There's no God. Have a good day, sir. It's just, it's just, that's got to be a miserable life. Just not, I can't imagine myself going through that. Like, I need a foundation. Like,
you're a big Carlin fan, right? George Carlin fan?
Yeah.
And so you've heard all the material about he doesn't believe in God and all that. You've heard that?
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, do you lose respect at all for George Carlin
when he says that? That's his point of view.
But you don't, I mean, you just earlier said, listen, if you don't believe in God, and you kind of alluded to, like, you couldn't get along with somebody who doesn't believe in God.
No, I'll look at them a certain way. Like they'll lose my respect to a degree.
Okay, so there's a little bit of respect you lost for George Carlin with the no God comedy material that he used.
Well, you have to understand, by lose respect, I don't mean like I'm not gonna go out of my way to try and run him over with my car. I'm not crazy. I mean,
you look down on him a little bit. You feel sorry for him for not.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe the opposite.
Right.
And the other part is regardless of him being a comedy icon, I will, when it comes to him and God, I'm not, like me, like, I can't take away his genius. Like, I can't, because I don't like him, and I won't not like him because he doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
I just, when it comes to the issue of God, and when that subject is brought up, and I'm around him, he's dead now, but if I was around him, I would definitely be like, I'd be thinking, how can you not believe in God, man?
Is George Carlin in heaven right now?
Well, George Carlin didn't believe in heaven.
So if you don't believe...
I just told you. No, he's an atheist.
Right. So if you don't believe in God, you're not going to heaven, even if there is a God.
Well, we just talked about this. Only 144,000 are going to heaven. The anointed ones. Right. George Carlin is in a deep sleep, waiting on the resurrection.
Okay, all right. That makes only a why now. Why 100? Was there a reason for that certain pinpointed number? Like, I'm only going to take this many, and then the rest you got to wait.
Well, they're supposed to rule as high priests in heaven for 1,000 years, and Jesus is going to rule.
Okay.
And by the way, Jesus. A lot of people call Jesus God. He's not God.
He's not God.
It says in the Bible.
He's God's son.
Exactly. You know, he talks about his father. Why would if he's God? Why is he talking about his father? And there's many points in the Bible where he references his father in heaven.
Yeah.
You know, that frustrates me a little bit when people think, oh, Jesus is God. He's not God.
He's not
he's
God.
Not. He's God's son. You know, I got into too many debates with about that. But
when Beyonce wins the Grammy and she thanks God, did God vote? Is God responsible for the Grammy Award that she got?
That's just her, you know, praising God for what she has achieved. I don't think, because like people, like they talk about how athletes thank God after they just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like God favors the Rams over the Buccaneers. Like, you know, look, forget the Buccaneers. I like the Rams. You know, it's ridiculous to assume that. But they thank him just because of they're feeling elated. They have faith. They just want to give it up to God. They want to praise God for that good feeling they have.
Do you think God's up there like, I wonder if I should kill anybody with a tsunami? Wait a sec, you know what? Beyonce's up for the Grammy.
Okay, I'm going to reveal something.
Yeah. Reveal it. You already said it.
All right. First of all, people have to understand, this is not God's world. This is Satan's world. All the evil things that happen are as a result of Satan. So the devil came down in I believe 1914.
Right.
And he's on Earth. There is, by the way, there's no hell. There's no hell. Hell's a myth.
A myth.
Okay, the devil and demons, fallen angels, are on Earth. Okay, and this is and the devil rules this Earth until Armageddon. And God will protect those who know His name, who follow His word.
Right.
But this essentially is the devil's world. He runs this world. He runs the government. It's an evil world.
Now listen, I went to a church once here in Modesto, and they said that Barack Obama was Satan. Now, so is that true?
That's a little bit of racism. I don't, because there are people who just don't like him because he's black, like, and they'll never admit to it.
Yeah.
They just I don't like his big ears, and it's just like I don't. It's very annoying, dude. Just come out. I'm not going to call you a racist, dude. Just admit that you're uncomfortable with a black guy running the country.
Right.
Yeah, you're uncomfortable with having a black boss. Technically, you don't feel like a black guy is capable of running a country, sitting in the seat at the White House. You don't think that. You don't feel like a black dude can be the president of the United States.
And it's not just him that's running it. It's him, but there's a bunch of other... It's not like he could go, you know what, I feel like fucking bombing Australia. I'm going to just do this shit. And it's not like he could just say, oh, you don't want to? Well, fuck you, I'm the president. Like, he's got to... There's got to be, like, bills voted on.
Exactly. There's a Senate, there's a Congress, there's a House, you know.
So, I mean, anything where you could go, I'm going to blame this on Barack, you got to realize hundreds of other people are involved in that decision.
Well, that furders the argument of people just not liking the fact that a black guy is running the country.
Right.
He hasn't even done anything. They thought that he was Satan. They thought that he was gonna dude. In my neighborhood, it was so funny. The night that he got elected in 2008.
Yeah.
My neighborhood was so quiet.
Really?
I was just picturing every neighbor just in the house with a shotgun, just going, oh, the blacks are coming. Like he was gonna get elected and just be like, all right, revenge day, and we're gonna make white people slaves. There are people in this world in this country who thought that, who actually believed that. Getting
out bottled water, canned food,
exactly.
The bomb shelter.
This is a very real statistic. Yeah. I believe that the week after he got elected, gun sales went up.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Just everybody bought a gun, just thinking that, Barack Obama's going to have his secret black army. We're just going to go, just go around terrorizing white people, and it didn't happen.
I would have been more afraid had he not won. That's when I would have bought the gun, going, you know what, blacks are going to, just going to be like when OJ was or not OJ, but what, remember back in the 90s?
Rodney King.
Back when they were, whatever, they weren't convicted of the crime, and so everybody went and rampage stores and knocked over, beat up the shit out of truck drivers. I would have been afraid if Barack didn't win. That's when I would have got the gun.
Honestly, I didn't think he was going to win. I didn't think that anybody would ever elect a black dude.
Right.
It was a joke. It was a running joke. Like it was the comedians did jokes about this. Eddie Murphy did a joke about being the first black president and having to give a speech where he runs around because there's a guy, and then he mimes a guy with a sniper rifle going, "You won't stand still." Because it was a joke. The idea of a black guy running the country was a joke. It was the joke is he's going to get shot.
Right.
Because nobody's going to allow a black dude to have that kind of power.
I thought he would win because I think people wouldn't go against him because they would have appeared to be racist. They would have been, I'm going to vote for, I don't know who was running against, Kerry, who was running against him? I forget.
He was running against John McCain.
See, that's how long ago this was, but I would have been like, you know what, I'm going to vote for the black guy. I'm going to look like I'm not a racist. I'm a good quality human being because I'm good for the minority.
A lot of people did do that. A lot of people, some people just liked him.
Right.
But some people voted going, you know what? These blacks won't be able to call me like it was like their I get to say the word nigger card. Yeah. They're like hey calm down nigger, and they were like, what the hell, what you call me? Like, I voted for Barack Obama, right?
Right.
And then you're supposed to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, carry on.
Yeah, another side to that was I think people voted for him because they didn't want blacks to be able to play the race card anymore. They go, hey, you know what? There's a black president. You can't say this didn't happen or that happened because I'm black.
Right.
There's a black president. No excuse for you.
That is so false. But yeah, right. Because look, race is like just because one black guy made it to the mountaintop, paraphrasing Martin Luther King Jr. speech, doesn't mean everybody did. Like for now that he made it, like I think things got worse.
Right.
Like now instead of the government having one white guy keep me down, they have two. They hang outside my house. Hey Johnny, what are you doing? You gonna go to the store? We have to oppress you. What are you gonna do? You gonna buy milk? I have to knock it out of your hands. Just like hey Johnny, you were trying to get a gig in the Bronx. I made a phone call, I'll ruin that for you. I have to keep you down, Johnny. I have to keep you guys down. But no, that was definitely a surprise, and he's not the devil, but a lot of people did believe that. It was usually it was racially based. It just, again, white paranoia is very powerful, man. Like
my grandparents hated, like they always voted Democrat until he was running.
Dude, I have homeboys that voted for McCain and Palin.
Really? What was their reasoning? Now they're black, right? And they voted against Barack. He's a homeboy.
Can you imagine? There are black Republicans, but can you imagine? One of my homeboys. Like one of my gangster thug homeboys voting for McCain and Palin. Can you I can't picture that. Yeah, man. Hey, I gotta vote for McCain. I gotta vote for McCain and Palin real quick. I don't believe in gay marriage, man.
What was the reason behind them voting?
Dude, they wouldn't tell me, but it was obvious what the reason was.
What was the reason?
They just, I think one of my best friends who is white. Yeah. He said. He believed he was a secret Muslim.
A secret Muslim.
Because that was one of the rumors, Barack. They had a picture of him like praying, and it was a doctored photo of him like wearing one of those. I think he was like wearing like not even a turban, but it was like turban-ish. It was like a wrap around his head.
Yeah.
And it was you could tell it was doctored. And even if he was, if he was a Muslim at some point, and they say that he also went to Muslim school, but even if he was, he's a Christian now. Right. But the bigger picture is like what's wrong with a guy who studied Islam? The Islam is regarded as a peaceful religion. You have Islam extremists. You have Al Qaeda. They're the other part of Islam.
Yeah.
And they do terrible things in the name of Allah, who they worship.
Right.
I'm sorry, he's the prophet.
Right.
But they're it's. That's just they're Christian extremists. They're every person the Klan used to terrorize black people. Those people were the same people who were like just pulling black people out of their house and lynching them. Were the same people in church on Sundays singing songs.
True. They kill. I just think Muslims blow a lot of shit up, and when you don't hear.
Well, I'm not.
Listen, it's like how everything on the internet's negative. Like anytime you go to like a fan page, anything, all you hear is the negative. So when you hear about this religion, you don't hear the positive. That's not a story. It's not sexy.
That is true.
But you hear them blowing shit up. That's a story.
Everybody has done something. Like Timothy McVeigh. I just recently found this out. Like I believe he bombed what did he bomb? The Oklahoma
City building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in the name of religion.
Was it?
Yeah, I believe it was. You know, so like you can't just look at one religious group who does bad things, because everybody has done a bad thing, and some name it in faith, some don't. But if they are of that faith, then to be fair, you have to really look at them closely and go, wow, well, if this guy shot 4 people and he's a Buddhist, maybe Buddhists need we need to be careful around them too. Yeah, but, Islam is the one that gets the bad rap, and that's people. My friend didn't vote for him because he thought that he was a secret Muslim, which was, like for every story that came out about him being a secret Muslim, there's another one. He sat in Jeremiah Wright's church, who said "Goddamn America." And it was a Baptist church, essentially Christian, and this was several years back. So for obviously for a while, Barack Obama's been attending a Christian church. So it was an excuse for people to pull out so that they didn't look racist. Oh, I thought he was a Muslim.
Right.
So and that's what my friend told me. He thought he was a secret Muslim.
I always equate. I don't do it on purpose, but I hear Muslim and I think somebody blew some shit up. That's
that's the news.
Because it's all you hear. Yeah. Like it doesn't, like, the only thing that's a good story is something bad that happens. That's why they'll take like something innocent. Like I remember back in the 5th grade. It's not going to be a long story, but there was we were on a field trip on a boat going across the river like 5 miles an hour, and it hit a couple of trees, and the news came out and they covered it. And instead of them going with the story, 5 miles an hour floating, barely going, barely a motor on this thing, hit a few trees, they're like, news at 11, school children nearly died, trees crashed into the boats.
You're right,
like,
you're right. They have to make it sexy. They have to make, the news can't just be, we got a guy got a cat out of a tree today. That's it. That's the top story. No, it has to, and if that is the top story, they have to say, guy tries to molest cat in a tree. News, this.
It would have been. It might have even been like if the cat died, say they didn't save it. The cat had a virus. It was injected by the Muslims to like unleash it upon the earth, and like the firemen had to extinguish this cat.
You would make a great Fox News.
I would.
You really
I
would.
totally
you really would. Bill O'Reilly would have you on, and you'd just say crazy things for about 10 minutes.
Right. I should. If they're listening, please do.
Fox News, hire this guy. He'll be a great. You'll start out as an intern.
Right.
Having to kiss Bill O'Reilly's ass.
I'm going to have to shove a cigar up Bill Clinton's ass at some point, I'm sure. Being that I'm the intern, right? That's
a White House intern, yeah.
The White House intern, yeah. But,
no, but,
some sort of degrading sexual act. I mean, that's all.
You're right, though. The news has to They have to design the news like that. The news isn't even news anymore. It's just like people's opinions.
Right.
The news is like YouTube.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. Like they just talk about a story. They talk about something that happened, and everybody, whether they want to mention it or not, is very political. You have the right and the left, and MSNBC is the left, and Fox News is the right, and CNN is like kind of on the middle.
Yeah.
But everybody, some days they're conservative, some days they're liberal, but everybody chose a side, and that's not real journalism. Like real journalism is just doing a story and putting a nice summarizing it, but not exactly making it a political thing.
Well, and there's the other thing that they enhance. They'll take a story where barely nothing happened, and they enhance it to make it like, you gotta fucking watch this. Somebody almost died.
They have to make it sexy.
Right. I mean, if you heard the real story, you're not gonna watch it. It's like when they make a Hollywood movie and it's based on a true story, and you watch it and go, wow, some fucking amazing shit happened, and then you're like so into it where you Google the real story and you're like, wait, all this shit didn't happen the way they said it did.
Exactly.
Like they gotta make it better, so the entertainment value is up there. So it makes the people who see this want to watch go, oh, fucking shit. Exactly. Will Smith did that thing with the cube when he was in that fucking movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. You remember that scene where he fucked with the Rubik's Cube, and that's how he got the job? Never happened. There was never. Wow. That was a totally made-up situation for the movie, for the entertainment value of the movie.
Right, the news is just like the movies.
Yeah, and in that movie they said he did that job. Google this fucking movie and watch it. But he did that job for free, whatever he did in there. Right. Turns out he actually was paid. So everybody who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, The Pursuit of Happiness, Google that, Will Smith, watch it. You'll know what I'm talking about later. But it's just complete bullshit.
it was based on something.
Yeah.
It's just
that's why they say based, so they get loosely based, and then they just change what they want.
It's a movie. Like I think it may. Well, I don't want to see like in actual just what actually happened.
No,
unless it's very entertaining. I'm not going to pay $10 to go see. He actually did get paid. Yeah. There was no Rubik's Cube. Like those were like monumental scenes. The director put them in because it worked. It made you go, oh wow, this is actually a good movie.
Like you have to do that to make it a more entertaining movie.
Exactly. Your point is the news is just like that.
Yeah, it's just like Hollywood.
Some news stations just make up stories.
You do? They just totally
fabricate stories.
How do you know this? Are you just pulling?
I'm talking because Fox News is hilarious.
Yeah.
I stay out of politics, man, because that's another thing about the religion. We don't really get involved in politics. Again, I'm not exactly a practicing one, so I do make comments, but I'm not really I understand that the Democrats, are not perfect, and the Republicans are not perfect.
Right.
But I always, if I could vote God in every election, I don't vote, by the way, but because I won't fight in a war, but If I could vote for God, I would vote for God every time. I don't vote for Democrat or Republican. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fox News, they make up stories too. This has been proven. I can name two. Like there was a story about a white pimp going to I believe the ACLU,
right,
and trying to and he goes, I got girls, but I don't want to. I'm trying to remember how it went, but he said he didn't want to. He wanted to get a grant. He wanted to get a house. And he wanted to basically keep them in the house and have Johns come. Johns are guys who pay for sex.
Yeah.
Come in and have sex with them. And the lady was telling him how to do it. That was totally made up.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so that was just that was just a totally made up story, and they've made up other things, and when they don't make up things, they lie.
Yeah.
Like I've seen news stories where you have all the facts on one network, but then Fox News interjects something that's not exactly with that black professor who got arrested in his own house.
Right.
Fox News was lying left and right about that. I was watching CNN, and they were giving all the facts, and MSNBC was giving all the facts. Even the local news stations were giving all the facts.
Well,
and then you have Fox News, just saying little lies here and there, just ad-libbing, basically.
Why was this guy arrested? Because I didn't hear about this story.
Apparently he lived in a nice area. He was a black professor at Harvard, and he came home one night, and I guess one of his neighbors didn't recognize. I don't know how that works, because if you have a black neighbor, when you're black, they knew we moved into their neighborhood. The second we were driving down the street, they're like, oh, we got black people.
Yeah.
So it's obvious. Somebody, what's so funny?
Yeah.
I was at a party in Fremont, California,
right,
and I'm talking to somebody who's from Oakdale, California.
Wow.
And they go, hey, where do you live? I live in Houston, California. And he goes, oh, you're the black family that moved there. I swear to God that happened.
Wow, really?
So everybody in Houston apparently knew that there was a black family.
Wow.
So yeah, if you have a black the city, not our street. So if you have a black neighbor, you're well aware of it. Trust me.
Yeah.
But she apparently didn't recognize him or something, and she called the police, and the police show up, and he's irate. He's like, this is my house. What are you doing? And basically, the cop is talking to him, and the thing about this dude is, you have to, again, we talked about how you have to behave a certain way with the police.
Right.
Yeah, because bad things can happen.
Yeah.
It's a very volatile situation, so you have to be extra kind. This guy lived, he accomplished a lot, and anytime you're educated and you accomplish a lot, and you get treated a certain way in society, you might forget you're black. And I think this guy forgot he was black, and he behaved like a white guy.
Yeah.
He was yelling at the cop, going, "What are you doing? You're dumb. You're this. You're that." And the cop arrested him in his own house.
I'm sure
the charge. Yeah. The whole debate was there really wasn't a charge.
Charge.
Basically, he got arrested because he was yelling at the cop.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
But
well,
you can't. I mean, like he was in his house.
Right.
Even on his property. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
Cops are really aggressive. They get treated like, and I'm not defending cops, but a lot of people don't like cops. It's like the chicken and the egg. Who's the real asshole? Because I don't like cops because they're assholes. Cops don't like me because people are assholes to them. So when a cop encounters just a regular citizen, they both have this impression that, hey, that guy's a fucking asshole, and I'm not going to be nice to this motherfucker. And they're both coming at each other in a kind of aggressive manner.
Not me, dude. Like I tap dance. I tap dance. And
no, me. I will totally kiss the ass of a cop, but a black guy who has been harassed by cops like a lot.
Listen. We do have those moments where we go, man, where we lose it, and it's not because white people get pulled over, and white privilege is a very real thing. Yeah. Right? But we don't have the privilege of that. Right. But white privilege says, what the hell? What? Who are you? Let me see. They're on their phone. I'm gonna call my lawyer. And they end up calling a friend, and he's just like, that's not right, dude. And then they're just totally disregarding the cop, and he's getting upset. But black people tend to be like very calm. Yeah. Hey, officer, what did I do? Despite what you see, and here's what happens though. Every once in a while, you'll have a black dude who just can't deal with it anymore. It's just like, I'm just going home, but it's how they treat. Like you get pulled over. What do they say? They never ask where are you going.
If it's late at night, like 3 a.m., they will.
Typically that's like they is this your car? they ask the kind of questions where you're just like, is this my car? Where are you going? Where were you 2 hours ago? Right. They just what? How big are your wife's breasts? There's questions that just make you go, what? Where'd you grow up? It's like you're being interviewed. It's like by Barbara Walters. She's asking very personal things. Like when did you first have sex? What age were you? And just like how is that any of your business? Yeah. They ask personal questions, and that's one of the things that annoys black people. And then again, you'll have a black dude who loses it, and he's just like, yo man, I didn't do anything, and that's it. Sadly, like he's ultimately he's not doing it because. For effect, he's doing it because he's actually just emotionally, he just can't deal with it anymore.
He's at the last straw, end of the rope.
I didn't want to say that because end of the rope, black eye. But you said it. Wink, wink.
Good thing they say visual. Good thing they say visual.
He just had enough, and he's just like, yo man, I didn't do anything, this and that. Why you harassing me? And that's like fuel for a cop. Like that's And that'll be the one incident that goes viral on the internet. Look at this black guy freaking the fuck out. Nobody's gonna record. Hey, do you know why I pulled you over? Oh, I think I was speeding, officer. And
But people will post that, and they'll make a point to go, "This is how black people are with cops. This is how they act."
And it's usually the news. Yeah. The news is a driving force to maintain. Black anger, black rage, and also we commit all the crimes and everything. And I think society's been programmed to believe that black people are a certain way, and cops. Right. I'm sure a cop is nervous when he sees me in a car. He thinks that I might have a gun. He might think that I'm going to try and kill him. I try to think about it from his perspective as well. Right. But we just get tired of what we go through. Because how many times have you honestly been pulled over?
A lot. I've been pulled over a lot. Listen, I've had a cop pull me over late at night. He walked to the passenger window. He told me to get my insurance card. I undo the thing, and as soon as I open the glove box, he inhales very deeply. Like, do you got weed in here? And then he inhales like a powerful, like he's doing a line of coke, kind of inhale to see if he could smell weed. Right. So maybe I look like I smoke weed, and he was Mexican, so I can't go, it's the whatever. Well, you know what? I don't know where I was going with that, because I'm obviously a white guy, so why would another white guy play a race issue? But I'm just saying, maybe it was reverse racism, because he was Hispanic, I'm a white guy, maybe he wanted to bust me for something. Maybe he had a little white rage.
You look like Remy from Higher Learning.
Do I look like I would smoke weed?
No, I'm kidding, but everybody gets pulled over on occasion, but they're relatively fair with you. You've never had guns.
No, I've never had a gun.
My brother I think he recently got this charge dropped. He had a fishing knife in the car, and in the police report. Oh, by the way, they pulled him out of his car and they searched his car without his permission. Right. That you have the permission. They have to ask you, can we search your car? Yeah. Without but if they can't pull you over without probable cause, by the way. But once they pull you over, they have to ask you to search your car, and you can say no. Unless of course you have a kilo of cocaine on your lap, then you're like, it's kind of obvious what you did, and the cop sees it, and then you're pretty much going away. But if everything looks normal, they have to ask you that. They didn't ask him that. They pulled him out of his car, and in the police report they said that he had a machete Wow,
did he?
No, he had a fishing knife.
A fishing knife. Okay.
But they said it was because they need at that point they saw a black dude in the car.
They need probable cause.
So they lied. What the security guard did to you is what they did to him.
Okay.
So they lied. So they needed a valid reason to pull him. Oh, by the way, he got taken to jail too.
Wow.
And because they thought that he was drunk.
Yeah.
They breathalyzed him 3 times. He passed every time. He wasn't even drunk. My brother, I rarely drank. My brother doesn't really. He like drinks like when at the end of the day he'll have a beer or something.
Right.
But like they breathalyzed him 3 times, and at this point they were embarrassed because they realized they had nothing. But they hauled this guy all the way to the police station.
Right.
Impounded his car.
Wow.
And so they go, oh, he had a machete. When he had a fishing knife.
Now, did he get convicted of anything?
No. After a year of him going to court.
Yeah.
That's what they did. I think they prolonged the case.
So you'll take a plea deal, and so the DA will get something on you, even if they got to something too.
That's with you.
Yeah.
That's with him. They were trying to lock him up.
Oh, okay.
And he has a wife and a baby. And it was just stressful for him, and he wouldn't let me go down and support him.
Yeah.
It just my dad went down and supported him, and my dad, who is like, my dad understands racism because he's almost 60.
Yeah.
My dad got called nigga by a cop.
Wow.
I can't process that. Like that's something out of a movie.
Yeah.
But he got called nigga by a cop, dude. So he understands racism, but at the same time, he doesn't, he's one of those people who kind of goes, just if you keep your head straight, things probably will work out. Even he was uncomfortable because he's standing behind my brother in court at one of his court dates, and he sees cops are coming in and just pointing at him and just giving him looks like, we're gonna get you, boy.
Wow.
This was in Modesto.
Yeah.
This is not the South. This is Modesto, and he's getting treated like that, dude. Yeah. And my dad was just like, whoa. My dad thought that at some point they might just shoot him.
Really?
In court, because that's how severe the looks were, and it was interesting. In court you have a bailiff and you have a judge.
Yeah.
But for some reason there were 3 or 4 cops coming and going and just giving him threatening looks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get you, boy, kind of looks.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of thing, dude. But I think.
So, but you're saying the charges were dropped, or what? What was the resolution?
Eventually they were dropped.
They were dropped.
Just they can't. They can be ridiculous, but they can only take their ridiculousness so far.
Yeah.
Eventually somebody will go, wow, so it said this in the police report, but we didn't actually have it. Where's the? Oh, I'm sorry. In evidence, they didn't have it. They can never produce it. So what was in the report was never produced.
Oh, all right.
And so I think that's one of the reasons why they prolonged the case, because they were kind of embarrassed, and they were just I think they were just hoping to maybe he would do something else, because I believe what do they call it? I believe he had a warrant. It was something like he was. I think they were just trying to prolong it, so eventually he would do something else, and they could just take him away for that.
Nice.
And it didn't happen.
By the way, I watched a video of today about a guy getting his car searched by the police.
Yeah.
And you know how you said, they can't search without your permission. Well, this one, they suspected drugs. Let me search your car. The kid goes, no. Why, kid? And so they bring the drug dogs out to sniff and see if they could find, if a scent of drugs, so they could check the car. Didn't find a scent. So what they do is there's a code word or phrase they give the dog that will make the dog give a false positive reading for drugs. So he goes, get him, boy, like that, but under his breath, like, get him, boy, real quick, with a snap of your fingers, and then it'll make the dog jump against the window and bark, give him the drug sign. And so they'll do that so they could check your car. So it doesn't matter even if the dog smells drugs or not, they're checking your car if they bring out the dog.
That is so tacky, man.
Yeah.
You see how corrupt the system is.
They are corrupt. They are.
I have no confidence in this government. I have no confidence in this world, dude. I can't say that I'm living right and I'm preaching again, but I still have faith, and it keeps me it's strong, and it keeps me alive, and it encourages me, it gives me hope.
Nice.
Because in this world is sick. There's nothing good about this world.
Yeah,
I mean, there's good moments and there's beautiful things you can appreciate, dude. But this world, the government's corrupt.
It is.
There's you can't you can't walk down the street at night without worrying about somebody getting this. It's an evil world, man.
I think maybe the charges against your brother were a little bit too boring, and even against me, they're a little bit too boring. They're we got to entertain this jury, fucking enhance this shit. Yeah. They're gonna be here for 8 hours a day for 3 days in a row. Beef up these fucking charges. I don't know. Maybe they do that. They could do that.
They just don't want to look because they lie all the time.
They do.
But once it's in the report, they can't go back on it. So for for like
that's why I'm glad about my case, because you can't go back on it. We got the tape now that they didn't want to give up, by the way, for the first 6 months.
Exactly.
No tape. Because on the tape,
on the tape, you just basically got scared and ran.
Yeah, I got scared like a pussy and ran.
The guy had a baton, man. Dude, I'll fight anybody, but if a guy pulls out like a gun or a knife.
And listen, he was an armed guard. He had a baton and he had a gun. So I couldn't have done anything.
Yeah, like I'm not trained in knife and gun. My brother Keith is trained in that stuff, dude. I'm trained in how you beat some, like self-defense. Like I can fight multiple people at the same time.
Right.
But I can't. But if somebody pulls a gun on me, dude, I'm just like, hey man, you win.
Nice.
And I hate guns, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't hate guns. I just like you'll never catch me carrying a gun.
I got my gun permit once, but I never did carry a gun. Like
you were an armed guard.
Yeah. I left it in Starbucks. I dropped it in front of a couple at Starbucks once. And the only thing I could think to say was, "Oh, don't worry, it's on safety." But it didn't have a safety. It was kind of a gun that didn't have a safety on it. So, like that, I left. Yeah, and again, I left it on the toilet tank twice and had to go back to get it. Like, I'm not good with guns. I don't need to be around them. I'm going to accidentally shoot somebody if I have one on me.
That's just hella funny.
Yeah.
That'll be hella funny if you said Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just drop the gun and the people look at you. It's okay, I'm white. You put it back. Just put it back in your pants and just walk out. Like, oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
But by the way, talking about cops, like when I was 19, the first time I got pulled over by a cop, the radio was on loud, so I couldn't hear a siren or anything. I was speeding. When the cop had a siren on to pull me over, and I went like 3 miles because I didn't even recognize that there was somebody behind me. I never was pulled over before. I did eventually see
sometimes.
I saw the siren eventually, but didn't think anything of it because I never got pulled over. Didn't know what was going on. So they stopped me, and they were very polite. If I would have been black, I would be dead today. But because I was a white young man, clean cut, they all had a good time. There was like not 12, like 6 cops. Like a few other cops came because they probably thought I was running for some reason. I let them check the car. They found nothing. They all stood in like a hurdle, and we all had a good time.
See that? Come on, man. Come on. Okay, you know what? I've had that same situation happen where the cops all get like 4 or 5 cop cars, and they all stand around for like a good half an hour and just talk to each other. You see them laughing. Here's the difference. I wasn't standing with them. I was in one of the cop cars with my hands. By the way, I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
Those cop cars are made for little people. All right, and midgets. All right, like because my dude. They had me with my hands behind my back, and I was in there for like a good hour and a half. And like I had to sit sideways, and even that was just killing my I think my nuts were purple because I had to cross my legs, dude. And and I just see those guys just kind of going, just talking about their wives and just what their wife cooked. I'm just like, can we just hurry the process up? By the way, I was innocent. This was when I got pulled over for me and those guys got pulled over, and I got guns pulled on me.
Wow.
But there really was no charge.
I wasn't even cuffed. I wasn't restrained.
That is. I really do.
Not made to sit down on the ground, Indian style.
I would never ever want to be anything than what I am. But I have to admit, dude. Sometimes white people tell me stories, and I'm just like, it's like you told me you saw a unicorn. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? Because it's just I'm in disbelief. But at the same time, I understand that there's 2 different worlds out there.
Most people see black and they see criminal. That's what they see. It's a bull seeing red.
We call these people police.
That's what we do, Okay, well, we got to wrap up the show. 2 minutes left to give out your links.
I will. Okay. This Saturday I'll be doing 2 shows Saturday night. One in Lathrop, California at Texas Wings from 7 to 8, and then at 9 o'clock I'll be at the Cancun restaurant in Stockton, California.
All right. Follow you on Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter at JONNYCREAL, Johnny Creal.
Nice. Everybody.
By the way, I'm sorry. I wasn't. People have to understand, dude. Like podcasts really aren't. Like it's us talking. Like if you want to see me be funny, you got to see me do stand up. Like you might hear something funny in the podcast,
right?
Because we're just naturally funny, and interesting people. Like we kick every other podcast's ass. We really do.
Listen, you were so interesting. I barely talked. I seasoned you with a couple of questions, and I'm like, I'm going to listen to this guy talk. He's that interesting. So I didn't even care that much.
Now you're stroking my ego right now.
Yeah.
And thank you, by the way. So
you're welcome.
It needs to be stroked.
It was a good show, I feel like.
So you're McHenry Cruiser family?
Yeah. McHenry Cruiser family on YouTube. McHenry Cruiser Cranks on YouTube. McHenry Cruiser on Facebook. McHenry Cruisers with an S on Twitter.
Yeah. By the way, that cancer benefit that we're doing has been moved to September. So I had to tell you that.
We'll film that.
And I'll be at the July 25th. I'll be at the Winners Casino in Mininuka, Nevada. Yeah, and will you come with us? Come on.
I might. It depends on how court goes, because I don't know. It depends on future dates.
You're right. They're not going to lock you up.
We'll see.
The judge is going to be like, that looks like my grandson. I can't lock him up.
Stay tuned next week for the fight resolution. I
might call the podcast from county. Because I'll still be in there. They'll still be processing me.
I'll let you know how court goes with my case, and hopefully my warrant will be removed. We'll get into that. Till next time.
Johnny Creal.
Out. Boom.